This is Shell from Treasure Coast Crochet, and I wanted to do a quick live video to walk you through the notes for the continent of Africa graphgan wall art pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the color changes. So as you can see here, I have the stitch marker indicating that this is my wrong side of work. So you can see this is where all of my tails are sitting, that type of thing. And what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through how you go ahead and move on after you've added on some colors. And I'm going to add on a new color here just to show you how to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish out my double crochet for this green, and then we're going to pick up the white. So I'm going to go ahead and yarn over. I'm going to insert my hook, pull through. I've got my two stitches here, or my two loops here. We're going to pull through. And now before we do the second pull through of the double crochet, I'm actually going to drop my green yarn and pick up my white yarn and pull through that last part of the stitch for the double crochet. Now you can see that this like has a little piece of yarn that sticks up when you're doing those graphgans. I like to tuck mine in. Now this isn't required, but when I get ready to do my double crochet into my next stitch, I'm going to yarn over and then I'm going to go under that little extra piece to kind of tuck it in there. So I yarn over and then you see how I went under it, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish out my double crochet. Whoops, my yarn split a little bit there. There we go, got it, okay. And finish out my double crochet there. Then we're gonna pretend like we gotta do a few more double crochets, and then let's pretend like the pattern is asking for you to have one lonely green double crochet here. You can see I did the first part of my white double crochet, then I'm gonna grab a bobbin, and I have a couple of different kinds of bobbins, so you can see I like to use a clothespin as one bobbin, or you can just go old school and just, you know, make yourself a little ball of yarn, that kind of thing, for a bobbin. So I'm going to use my little ball of yarn bobbin, and I like to put a slip knot whenever I change colors. You can certainly do the knotless join if you'd like, but I'm going to do a slip knot. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all my tails forward because again I'm on my wrong side, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull my green through the last part of that double crochet. Again, I'm going to drop my white forward, so I know it gets a little bit wieldy down here, and go ahead and then finish in my green. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you. Now we've went ahead and put the green stitch, but again, I only did half of it because now we need to pick up the white. But look, oh no, the white is over here, and if we do this, it's going to cross the stitch on the back. So what I like to do, instead of doing it this way, I just wanted to show you all the wrong way before I show you what I think is the right way, or at least how I do it. You can do it how you choose. But what I like to do is I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to actually let my white carry under. Because I have white on white, this is okay. Now, if you were doing all white and trying to carry the green, that won't look as good. But because I have the white on white, I'm going to carry it under. You see, I'm just going to tuck everything together. Whoops, not my back part of my new yarn. Go over there. Okay. So I'm going to yarn over, but I'm going to carry my white. There we go. Got my white under there. Pull through. Whoops. There we go. Yarn over. There we go. Now we got the yarn over. Now we're going to pull through for your double crochet. Pull through the first part of your double crochet. Then now we're going to pick up the white to continue on, and then we go. There we go. So now if you have to do a stitch where it's just one color by itself, you can see how I added the color on and then just continued on by carrying the white under the stitch so that I could keep going. Now this is okay if you have 1 to 3 or 4 stitches, but anything more than that, you might want to just cast on a new or add on a new color. Sorry for using the knitting term there. All right, what do you do? Again, I got to the end of the white. I'm getting ready to go to the green. I stop about halfway through my stitch of my double crochet, and now I'm going to pick up my green. Whoops, make sure that those tails are laying toward your wrong side. In this case, the wrong side is facing us, so we're going to lay those tails forward. All right, so there we go. We've got it. Remember, I like to make mine a little loose so that I could then just tuck in that extra little bit of yarn there and then keep going. Woo, we made it through those color changes. Now we're smooth sailing with double crochets all the way to the end here. So again, I'm just doing a swatch, showing how I do those color changes and how I add the yarn on when I need to change colors. So again, when we get to the end of the row, remember we've been doing those chain up. You are not going to put a stitch here. You're only going to just put one right into the top of this double crochet. That is what I mean when I say do not count the chain up as a stitch. You're not going to put an extra stitch there. You're just going to chain up your two, and that's just to build the row. And now we're going to flip this over onto the right side, and you can see, I know this doesn't look that great because we're really close up on it, but I promise once the whole thing is built and then you're laying it on the wall, it really looks really fantastic. Okay, so now we are facing the right side. So imagine that this is the right side of the work. All right, and this is just a swatch work, so it isn't like really part of the pattern, but we went ahead and we double crocheted up. And now because the right side is facing, whenever you drop your tails, you're going to want those tails to be facing the back this time. So that's why I indicated in the pattern whether you're on the right side or wrong side, so you don't have to really think about it as you're working. So I'm going to go ahead and do a couple other double crochets here for you. Along the way here, remember double crochet, yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 more loops. So that's right, we're doing our double crochets here. And now if you don't want your wall art to measure the size that I've given you, please feel free to go ahead and do yours as a single crochet if you don't want yours to be quite so tall. Mine is pretty tall. I want to say it measures 23 by like 38, but that was perfect for the spot that I had on my wall. So you can see now what I did is I'm getting ready to add my white on so I can put my white stitch there. You can see I just dropped my green to the back there and then drop my green down. And then into my last yarn over and pull through, I'm yarning over and pulling through my white. There's that little extra piece of yarn that I'm always talking about right here. So what I'm going to do with that extra piece of yarn is I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook through the stitch, and then through that extra piece of yarn. So see how I put it through that extra piece of yarn right there? Okay, I'm just trying to make sure you guys can see that on the camera there, okay? And then I'm going to pull my yarn through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 more loops again. And then we're going to continue on with our stitches. So again, I just wanted to do this little bit of Facebook Live time just to give you some hands-on instructions on what to do when you need to add a color on. Now let's say I'm going to actually take this stitch out. Let's say we need to put that green here, here, and here and make 3 stitches. All you're going to do is when you get these first 2 done, before you pull through like I did there, I'm just undoing it, you're going to want to pick up the green, make sure you pick up your right green, this green here, and then just have it reach across the stitch. And then what I like to do is I loosen it just a little bit to give a little slack so that you can hide that where you pulled that yarn over. Do you see how I pulled the yarn under there and then I'm hiding it when you need to do an extra stitch? Now, you see how I don't have any white to pick up. What I would suggest you do here, notice I did not pull the white under because you would see it through those stitches. I'm going to just go ahead and add another bobbin of white right there. And I think I do. There we go. I have my little bobbin right here of white. Okay. There we go. Again, like I said, I like to do a slip knot method. There we go. Not too tight there. All right, because I like my knot to stay tucked right under where I'm doing the stitch. All right, and then again, putting my tails to the back. I'll drop my green, drop that little tail of white right there, yarning over and doing my double crochet. There we go. And don't worry about that sticking out. I'm just going to tuck that in when I get ready to sew my tails in. All right, so again, I'm going to double crochet, and now I should have my green back there to pick up, and there it is right there available for me. Going to pick up my green. Again, I make it a little loose so that I can keep going. Now again, I'm just showing you during what to do for those color changes, those pesky color changes. Now remember, the rule is that you can carry white on white, but don't carry a dark color under the white. So if you do need to do like just one stitch or 2 stitches, I would go ahead, you could carry the white under if you needed to, but anything more than that, you're going to want to add on a new bobbin. Okay? All right, well, I'm very much looking forward to working on this pattern with all of you testers. As you can see, this is how it comes out once you do that. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on Facebook or on Instagram. Please feel free to post on your social media as you're working up your project. If you want me to make any other clarifications, please, I'm so open and willing to hear feedback. I'm very excited. I hope that you all find this artwork to be inspirational. I'm very excited to share with my family during family reunion all the artwork that I have. Again, you're welcome to switch from double crochet to single crochet if you want your to be a little bit smaller, if you want it to turn out. I would love to find out what measurements you end up using if you choose to go that way. And so anyway, looking forward to working on the pattern with you. Again, this is Shell from Treasure Coast Crochet, and happy hooking or creating your works of art. So looking forward to seeing your final products. Have a great Sunday, everybody.